Okay, welcome back to part 40 of my Stationeers Mars playthrough. Part 39 we had some problems with the audio, which I think are fixed. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to recover the audio file, so we might have one that's a silent movie. What I did in episode 39 was to build some melt rooms underground. And we'll just go take a quick look at those. The reason I've done this is because I want to be able to process quite large volumes of ice, and whilst we can use the crusher, it's really slow. So what we built was two identical rooms, one here for hydrogen, because we don't want to mix this. You can see the chute comes in through here, we've got a vent, we've got a heater, we've got a sensor. Same on the other side, and in fact we've even got some ice in here for everything else. So the point of separating the two is I don't want oxygen and hydrogen in the same place at the same time. So we are nearly ready with these, but there's a couple of things still to do. So first of all, I need to obviously fit a couple of valves in there. And secondly, what I didn't do last time, mostly because of time, was the IC code. However, what I have done since is to actually get some IC code written. So let's just load this in. This is on the workshop, and right, let's go through this code. So what we're going to do, you'll see that the sensors and the vents and the heaters are paired. I've called it H2 and O2, basically for the hydrogen side, the volatile side, and the other side. I couldn't be bothered to write other, so it's O2. And actually we don't need these two lines anymore, because I was going to do something in a slightly different way than I decided to. So what we've got here is a main loop, and you'll see it goes through this loop twice. So it's a structure you'll be familiar with, where we go loop, and down the bottom here we have a loop end, a yield, and a jump back to the loop. The bit that happens in the middle, you can see we do an H2 pass and then an O2 pass, and it's calling the same subroutines in order each time. And what that's going to do is this. So the first thing it's going to do is actually just load up information to check the pressure and the temperature. I have actually got some stuff here where we're putting values onto the stack, because I thought it might be interesting to compute the pressure change, but the logic isn't actually using that at the moment. I'm not sure we need it. I just thought I'd add it in, so I may well take that out for now. However, if we then go through, so it's going to load up the pressure and the temperature, and you can see here we're using indirect referencing. So R9 gets set here to 0 if we're on the hydrogen side, or 3 if we're on the other side, and that corresponds to device 0 or device 3, which is the sensor in those rooms. And then what this is doing is working through to just get those two values, put them into R0 and R1.
Danger. System failure.
Fantastic. We have a system failure. I think that indicates that the solid generator is out of fuel, so we'll need to fix that in a minute. So the next thing we do once we've loaded those values in is we actually go and check whether or not the temperature is below 0.2 C, so whether it's freezing or just above. If it is, we're going to, if it's lower than that, we're going to set R3 to 1, and we're going to use that to indicate we want the heater to come on. That's really the only control we have over the heater. That's the only thing we're interested in, is if it's too cold, then heat it up. The vent, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. So there's a series of conditions that we go through here with the vent. So the first thing is we want to turn the vent on basically if these conditions are true. So first of all, if the temperature is under 20, because we don't want to bring hot gas into the waste system, and if the pressure is over half a kilopascal. But actually I'm going to move that up a bit because I did a little bit of testing and actually I found that was a bit too low. The reason is we don't want to completely evacuate that room, because if it's in a vacuum it's very difficult for the heat in the room from the heater to spread and actually melt the ice. So we need a bit of gas in there to carry that heat. So then the next thing I'm going to do is say also only turn the vent on if the temperature is above -10, because we don't want very, very cold gas going in. Obviously some of that gas could end up in the hab, and we don't want that to obviously kill our plants. Then this line here is where things get a little bit more interesting. So what we don't want to do is to vent the hydrogen and the oxygen at the same time into the same pipe, ideally, again just for safety. So what this is doing is saying if the other vent is off, and that will be true if R13 is 1, then it can still continue. There is, however, an override that says even if none of those conditions above are true, if the pressure exceeds 2 megapascals, for safety we'll still vent it. I mean, in fact, those plastors will hold, they won't blow through pressure, and same with the frames, but I don't like the idea of over pressurizing those rooms. It's just an accident waiting to happen if we open the door or something. So that will empty them then, and then the final override that overrides the override, if you like, says actually if it detects combustion, then never ever turn the vent on, because we don't want to suck burning gas into the pipes. That would be a bit silly. So what we then do is we then pass all of that information into this device control subroutine, and what that does is it says turn on the well, first thing it says is set R7 and R6 to point at a value which is 2 and 1 higher respectively than the device is pointing at the sensor. So that's going to point at the heater and at the vent in that order. So what we're then going to do is we're going to say if it's actually venting, we always want to turn the heater off, and the reason we do that is that as the pressure drops, the temperature can spike. It's less prone to that than in earlier releases, but it can spike, and we could actually again trigger combustion just because there's very low pressure and the temperature jumps up. So we turn the heater off whilst we're venting, and then we will just write out the contents of the results of those other two subroutines. We then drop back into the main routine, and what you'll see is at that point we then take R4, which is the value of whether or not the vent is on, and we move that into R13. We then subtract it from 1, to effectively to not gate it, and turn it the other way around. So at this point R13 is 1 if the vent on the H2 side is turned off. Then it goes through and does the O2 side, and that's where it's important, because we've obviously got the logic down here that checks to see whether or not the other vent is on or off, and then when that's finished, then again it then sets the value of the R4, which at this point is whether or not the vent on the oxygen side is on. It sets that into R13, does the same thing, 1 minus, then it loops back round and goes again. Just to configure the whole thing at the beginning, we just set R13 to 1. We just assume all the vents are off. So that's what that code does. So I'm going to go ahead and put that onto this nice empty chip here, and we're going to grab that, and let's go and get that cabled in. So I'm going to pop that in here. Let's turn it the right way up, and right, okay, so let's just grab the right colour cable. Silly, I should not have put the wire cutters away. Right. Okay, so as we always do, we'll turn it on, we'll let it error. It tells us what we want to connect to where. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to connect this to the gas sensor. So when I installed the gas sensors, and obviously both of the meltroom chambers are the same, and apologies if I managed to recover the audio and you get to hear that twice, but when I set it up, they were set up the same and they are just labelled up. So I've gone the wrong way through the alphabet here, I should have done it the other way. Gas sensor H2. So then conversely on this one, this is gas sensor and this one's called other ice. I just couldn't be bothered to type other ice when I was writing the code. So that's the active vent for other ice, that's the active vent for H2, and then this is the wall heater. That one we do want to go back through. Wall heater H2, wall heater other ice. There we go. And that should be working. So we're just going to quickly test that. And what I'm going to do is first of all I'm going to allow some actual pressure to build up in there. So the first thing we should be able to see is the heater has come on, the vent is turned off. And the vent is turned off because we are below 1.5 kPa and the temperature is below 0.2 C, so the heater is on. So if I close that, obviously that's just going to suck out normal atmosphere, but we'll do the same on the other side, because in that side we do actually have some ice, so we would like to get some pressure to build up. Just give it a minute to equalise. You can see on this side with very low pressure how slow it is to actually start to build up. Right, there we go, that should do it. We'll close those doors there. Both of those temperatures, as you can see, are still really low. I believe there's still ice in there, unless it's melted. Yeah, there's still ice in there. Of course, it's below freezing, so it won't have melted. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's up and running. What we're going to do now is we're just going to quickly install a couple of valves. And oops, that's going to need some iron. Come on, get on with it. Pretty sure we're going to need some copper in a minute, so I'm just going to smash that button as well. Right, we always need copper and it can go in there. Right, now what we do need to do, okay, this is for the next project I'm going to do, so we'll pop them away. What we do need to do is to just investigate the state of the solid generator, but let's print some pipe meters first so we can see what's going on. Good, right, okay, now I'm also going to do some passive vents for the next thing we're going to do. We're going to try and sort out a bit of the ventilation. So I think we're going to need 5 of them. And then, to be honest, we're going to need an absolute ton of pipes, so let's just get them building. Why do I always do it this way? I always have in my head the pipes are like really near the top of the list.
Power low.
Okay, right, so first things first, let's I'm going to clip those on there and there so we can see what's going on. I'm going to clip that on there. Then we're going to grab these. I'm going to put one there, and we're going to put one there. There we go. So that is now discharging into that waste pipe. They probably need some colouring at some point, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Right, so the other thing I want to do is I want to be able to vent the gas that builds up in the garage here. I feel like if we just got some khaki paint, this would probably save a lot of hassle. Whoops, dropped them far too quickly and they went flying into space. Right. Okay, let's go, and so this is going to need quite a bit of pipe, but what I want to do is, obviously there is a bit of gas that builds up in here when ice goes in, and I want to be able to just give that somewhere to go. Now it doesn't need to be highly pressurized, it just needs, whoops, come on, just needs somewhere to drain out to. So I'm just going to use a simple passive vent there and just allow, without using any power, the pressure of whatever gas builds up in there to, oops, what have I done, to just empty all the way through. Right, now I'm going to put that on there, I think, because that's going to be neater. Although I'm going to have fun in a minute with the hopper, so okay, right, let's run this along here. Oh, fell down the hole. I've just noticed that the chute for the coal is not pointing in the right, not quite going far enough, is it? Should be there. Right, that was lucky. Okay, so we're going to run this along here. It's going to interfere. Yeah, I thought it would, so we'll have to bring it out. Right, so actually we're going to have to run it one away from the edge, all down the side as well. This is a sort of job that is kind of simple but fiddly. There we go. Right. Oh, I did it turned it one too soon. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid doing. Never mind, we have plenty more pipe, and there we go. Right, so let's run this along here. I'm going to need to go grab some more pipe in a minute. Whoops. Okay, that's good. Right, I don't think that's going to be enough, is it? It's quite close, but it's not enough. No, because I need to get it all the way over there actually, so it's definitely not enough. Oh, come on, catch the clip point. No, go there. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to run this, I guess we'll run it along here. So quite a bit further along yet. I'm just going to connect it up to the waste gas. I'll leave one there. Right. Assume that's just run out of iron. Yes, it has. Okay, I'm going to chuck some more iron in there because in a minute I'm going to make some chutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the output from that canning machine directly to the back of this vending machine because well, there's just a crazy amount of stuff inside and it needs dealing with. So we're going to do that in a minute. If I can get the right way round on this, that should work. The reason I'm doing it like that is I want to be able to have an inlet so that we can still add our own stuff if we need to, but there we go. Useful job to do in the meantime. Right, that's probably enough pipe now. We'll see, won't we, I guess, but 27. Right, let's run it through there, that looks fairly tidy. Oh, I thought I'd done that wrong for a minute, but I haven't. Okay, there we go. Oh, I've probably still not quite got enough, have I? What I don't really want to do is connect it directly to that waste gas line on the left there, because that is likely to be carrying hydrogen. So probably best not to just connect it when the one I'm connecting up could basically contain anything. Okay, we'll get that going. Now the other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more floor gratings down. So in fact I'm going to use all the iron in that for floor gratings because there's tons that needs it. And I am also going to lay some flooring internally, but I might use the flat wall for that. I wonder if that's going to be enough. We shall see. Right. Let's run it in parallel along here. No, it's not going to be enough, is it? It's not too far off, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, we need just a little bit more just to connect that there. Have we got steel in there? Yes, we have. Excellent. Flat wall. Make a few of those. Right, that's enough pipe. I'm sure that should be enough now. Right, I don't making too many. Turn that off there. We'll come back for some more. Right, let's get this connected. There we go. And that was why we put the other valve at this end, because obviously we don't want to vent into here, but that should all be connected up. Yeah, looks good. Right, okay. And in fact you can see the atmosphere particles as that starts to vent in there. Good. Right, okay. I'll hang on to those because we're going to do some more inside. Let's put these down. We might come back to that bit in a minute. I think there's more pressing areas. Oops. Okay, there we go. Close up some of these that are getting really quite difficult to walk on. But the other one that's important is this bit here, because this is the most logical route to get through the back there. We're still going to need quite a lot more floor gratings, but it's a start. There we go. Right. That's definitely looking a lot better. Okay, so actually what we do need is 3 more inside there, don't we? Well, we're going to need plenty more, so let's grab this. Is it happening? Please, can I have some? Thank you. Let's throw that in there. Okay, so how many flat walls? We've got 5. Okay, I want at least 10 for in there because I'm going to floor that, and I want 9 more for in the atrium just to do the rest of the walls. If I can do that much, that's a decent start. Right, so in the meantime, let's see if we can sort out. The first thing to do is have a quick drink. Okay, now we're going to try and sort out the state of things in here. It's very hot. It's very, very hot. Throw that in there. Right, so what needs to happen here is we need to remove that. That is not running, and the reason that is not running is because the battery takes all of the power. Right, now this is going to be a bit messy. It's not really a good way to do this. I think it can be done from out here though. Maybe, yes. Okay, so there's a black cable there, so if I first of all do that. Right, if I think I can do this, I'm going to put those away because I don't want to inadvertently connect it to anything. I only want this to work if it naturally would. I had it and then I lost it. There we go. Bring it through that way. I think that will work. Let's try it. So this one we do now need to do that, and then I hope it should be as simple. Probably isn't. Never normally is, but it should be as simple as move it along above that cable.
Waste tank caution.
Oh, waste tank is starting to get depleted because it's so hot in here. hopefully this is about to be solved. There we go, look at that, that's connected, and watch that pressure drop. The only problem is this is very hot gas that we're sucking out of here, so that's not going to help our general attempts to bring the CO2 temperature down, but I found a random piece of coal though, so you know it's not all bad. Right. Okay, so I do want those. No, I want that to stop now. That's far more than I meant it to still be doing. I forgot I left that on. I'm an idiot. Never mind. We can always make more. Right, floor grating. We do want some more floor grating. Oh, goodness. Right, well, at least we'll get all that inside. I don't even know if I've got that steel sheet, so I've got 17, but we're going to need more than that, aren't we? Yeah, I should be fine now. Right, I think that's enough floor grating, at least for the internal. Right, while that's doing that, I'm going to get this warmed up with some chutes. There we go, we're going to need quite a lot of those. We're going to run that from there, I'm going to run it along parallel to the wall here, and we're going to put it through that glass there and connect it up to the canning machine. That is my plan. Right, one of these is needed over here. There we go. Done. That room is now kind of finished, actually. It's possibly the only one that is. I'll throw them there because we're going in that way in a minute. Whoa! Okay, well, let's see how we get on with these. Right, I'll go down from this end now, otherwise we're going to miss the corner. Okay, that's pretty decent so far. So then we'll just lift that and put it through the wall, I guess. Come on. Thank you. Right. Okay. So it's not quite enough. In fact, we've run out, haven't we? That's annoying. I wonder whether there was one in there at one point. Yes, there's a green one. Okay, cool. I think that's enough. No, it's not. Actually, I'm going to literally need one more. So that really is quite annoying. Do a couple of extras. It's better to have too many than too few. Right, okay, let's just quickly switch that while we're passing. And in we go. Right, okay, so let's throw that down there. I'll deal with that in a minute. Right, okay, first things first, what I want to do with this. So we will go through there, but for now I'll put one there, and I'm going to put an inlet onto it. Which way is it facing? Down at the moment. We'll give that a go. You can hear it now triggering and gradually sucking those up and sending them through. I can't imagine it will go very far before it... No, it's got stuck already. Oh well. Right. So now we'll put the inlet on at a different angle. To be fair, I'll probably just do that to start with. Since they've all fallen down again, quick way just to get it through. Back off again. Why not? Let's try it that way. Obviously, once I've got rid of this enormous pile, I'll just connect it directly to the machine, but this just seemed a fairly quick way to at least suck up some of them. You can see how many there are, it's just ridiculous. Still, it'll be lots of money when we get all these to a trader, won't it? Oh, come on, in you go. Oh. I feel like this is some sort of rubbish 10-pin bowling. Gotcha. Come on, in you go. That's it. Just need to throw it hard enough, maybe. Right, okay, so once we get rid of all this lot, which we will do in the end. Right, let's go faster. Get rid of these into the vending machine, then I can lay some floor.
Hydration critical.
Almost there. Right, is that all of it? I bet it's not. No. Right, okay. I think that's all of it. Right. Okay, so now let's lay... I think we'll have the small panels monochrome. That's going to go flying when I put those down. Yay! Okay, that looks better. Still a soup managed to escape. Get in there. Makes me wonder whether there's any more. Right, okay, so now let's connect. I mean, I kind of could leave it like that, but I think we'll connect it properly. There we go, since we've got spare we'll have a window in there. Right, okay, that at least means that the canned food is going in the vending machine. If we need it we can obviously access it, but to be honest with you, even just the amount we've got here will keep us going for absolutely ages. It's really not going to be an issue. Right, okay, let's line these walls here. Large panel, I think that's what we've got on the other side. Just hoping not to have to do that, but there we go. And okay, so let's, as a start, let's close these in. Whoops, I can just turn that light off. Come on. Right, now I haven't done this. The reason I haven't done this is I've been thinking about how this is connected, and I think there's a safer way to do it, which is to put both of these pipes behind the pressure reg and the same on this side, which actually I think can be done from outside. Yeah, that'll be fine, we can access that from outside, so I'll just stick these on here to at least get these done. There we go. Right, okay, so we'll use those in a minute up there. Now the other thing I want to do, we've obviously got the pipes, sort of stub pipes coming in through there. What I want to do is to actually connect them. So that one there, we'll do that with it. And do we have yellow pipes? No, we don't. Now we do. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to put one there. Whoop. Those pipes are empty, so of course created a vacuum. Sucked me up. Whoops. Okay, so obviously the point of doing this is to ensure that we can actually drive ventilation into these rooms independently, so as the doors are shut. Right, okay, I can see where those are fitted. That's actually quite easy then. We'll just go straight for it, I think. There we go. Right, okay, there we go. Right, so now if this door is shut, there should still be ventilation, although at the moment that system is not fully connected outdoors, so we're going to go out and sort that. I should have used the lift really, shouldn't I? Oh, I'm just going to fly up and do it. There we go, no jetpacks indoors, kids. Right, that's another job to do in a minute, but whilst we're waiting, let's at least get us doing something useful. Get in the composter. can see the pressure is moving up slowly in here, which is obviously good news. And obviously every time we compost anything, we're generating just a little bit more nitrogen and obviously some hydrogen as well. So there we go. That'll do. And that can definitely go in. Whoops. Go in. Oh my goodness. Can't we just get in? Right. And you're not escaping. You're going in the compost as well. Right. Okay, I'm just going to fix this ventilation outside, and actually I need to hit the button on the composter. I haven't automated the composter, and the reason for that is that last time I had a go at doing that, what I discovered was that it doesn't actually automatically activate when you send an activate command. So it may be fixed now, I'm not sure. But long and short of it is, I don't know, and I haven't bothered to try to do that just yet. Right, let's cut those there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just rerouting this. What I want to do is put the pressure reg probably there, and the back pressure reg probably here. I have a feeling the back pressure reg is going to be fiddly to do. Right, okay, so the reason for doing this will become obvious in a minute. I hope it will anyway. Right, okay, so let's grab this cable. So this bit's easy, this just needs to connect in there. I'll try that down because it's going to just need a little bit of work. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to connect this like that. And the reason for doing that is that what that means now is that that's going to pressurize here rather than having an open pipe, which is a kind of a potential risk. I'm not sure where I'm going to get the power to this.
Hunger caution.
Okay, we'll figure that out. I might have to just put through two. Yeah, I guess I will, won't I? I'll have to go through there and then through there. And then that doesn't join up. Okay, this is actually kind of fiddly now. And through there. And through there. And there we go. Right, so that is the main pressure regulator. That's the back pressure regulator. Okay, so what that means is that there's no way now, if I connect a vent directly to this dark green line, or indeed to the yellow line, that it will be anything other than pressurized and flowing in the right direction. So it's a much safer setup. All of this is controlled out here, and once it's on, it's on. Right, we don't need that anymore. Probably didn't need to make that extra cable yellow, to be honest, if I had realised. Anyway, never mind, that is done. Right, okay, so that's another little job done, but it means that we've got control of all of the internal vent pipes. Obviously these split here because there's, I'll come around here so you can see it, there's two passive vents on there, and then the main line goes further inside. I forgot to get water while I was inside. I shall go in and do that in just a second, but before I do, let's hit the button on this. Okay, that's got quite a bit to process. How's this coming along? Okay, this is working quite nicely. There's one other thing I'm just going to do because
Health low.
that's not a good sign. This was running better when it was set to 10. So I'm going to turn it back down to 10 because it was maintaining much closer to a stable temperature. And I did a bit of an experiment to turn it up to see whether or not that... So just blast that out, get rid of some hot gas. I did a bit of an experiment, you may recall, and I'm going to turn this on now as well so that the system starts running as it was intended to. But I think on balance we were getting more power out of it running it at lower power output but for longer. Right, so that water's now -6. This is at 43, so it will be interesting to see the gas coming out at 50 and going back in at 47. Whether once this radiator actually does its thing, and obviously that will be in the morning, whether that helps. Right, let's go deal with the next pressing problem anyway, which is lack of hydration. Right, there we go. Okay. Right, now the next thing I want to do, after clearing up all the seeds, of course, as is tradition, is get some floor grates down in here, not least because it will make it easier to clear up all the seeds. I think that we're going to have to build a much bigger sorting setup. Once I've got enough gas and I can actually pressurize a larger volume, I think that's going to be the only way that we're going to solve this, is to have much more space and sort a lot better. Right, so in fact if I harvest that, right, that can go over there. Just trying to clear this so I can see what's going on. Right, so I think the answer to that is tomato is what's going on. Missed, there it is. No, I can't get those. Okay, well let's at least... Oh, that was a terrible throw. Okay, let's get rid of those. Right, and then I can hopefully get some floor grating down. And then we might be able to see what's going on a bit better. Right. I'll hang on to that. Right, these can go straight in there. Into there. Okay, so hopefully this floor grating means that it'll be a bit easier to get some of these things out, but I'm not hugely optimistic, I have to say. It's unlikely to magically solve our clipping problems. Right, go in there, you're getting composted. Right, okay, so that's definitely an improvement. Now the other thing I was going to do was to get these lights connected up, which would be a good job to do. Oh, I don't know quite what happened there, enormous lag. Right, but I probably haven't got enough cable. 25, that's never going to be enough. See how far we get. Right. Go, flick those off. So in the meantime you can see we've got, when we get to it, we've got hopefully a whole load of, yes, food in here now. May as well call a trader down. Right, while that's doing its thing, we shall go inside and try and connect these lights. I'm hoping 47 cable is enough, it may not be. Oh, fighting with the pressure. Right, okay, so this one's the first one, that's nice and easy actually. Right, there we are, that's one. Right, and we've got one up there. And we've got two there. And we've got there and there. Okay, so I can't bring a cable down there. I'll have to connect it on this one. I probably should have done this before I closed the wall in. That would have been smart. But there we go. You live and learn, don't you? Right. There's got to be some under here somewhere. Oops. Oh, in fact, there's some there. Right. Okay. It's not so bad then, is it? Bring this up here, will this work? Yes, it will. Oops. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so hopefully... Oh, the connectors on these are silly. Is that right? That's right. One. Two. Right, I wonder whether this side will be so easy. Probably not. Right, now, where is there power? Under the floor. There's some there. So if I get this the right way round. Run it between there. We're going to have the normal problem of having about one piece too few. Literally one piece too few. How frustrating is that? Right, okay. Mind you, I haven't connected that one yet, so... Right, we'll get this done. Then we might actually call it a day and try and keep this to about an hour, which would be a minor miracle. So next time I may start, subject to being able to trade for enough resources, I may start work on the rocket, because I think that would be a useful thing to have. If we can get a mining rocket, we can get plenty of ice, and with our melt room that means we can feed stuff in and generate plenty of atmosphere for the hab, at which point really we can expand it as big as we like. That's the plan. Now I wonder how far across the floor I'll have to go here before I find a cable. I mean, I guess I could just do this. Eventually I'll hit one, right? He said, hopefully. There must be one along here soon. Okay, I must be running parallel to that one, I think. Okay, where's that one? Ah, missed. Gotcha. Okay, and now we just got to get one in there. And we have lights. Amazing. So probably could do with cladding this to make it look a bit nicer, but other than that, this is in pretty good shape now. I'm not going to get involved in doing that now. What I am going to do is just quickly change my CO2 bottle, because it's the sort of thing I'll forget next time. And then we're going to call it a day. Oh, lost my bearings then, and amongst all the new exciting stuff we've got going on over here. May as well grab oxygen while we're here, mightn't we?
Air tank critical.
There we go.
Jetpack critical.
There we go, that's everything refueled. Nice, right. Grab that fertilizer, we may as well. So there's 5 still in there. Currently not processing. Currently processing, right, so there's 97 still in there, so okay. Right. Well, we're definitely making some progress. What's the pressure like in here? Let it settle down after just 72. I thought it was actually higher than that earlier on, 75. Well, that's okay, some fresh fruit to go straight in. have no idea what happens if I attempt to compost some seeds, but I'm going to try it. Probably it'll jam the composter, that seems the most likely outcome, but there we go, that's enough if it doesn't work. But if it does work, then, well, you know, more nitrogen. Right, there we go. Throw that through. Right. Okay, let's eat and drink. There we go, and I think that seems like a pretty good place to call it a day. Just vent those through, just get. Okay, that's interesting. That is actually working better now that stacker's in there, isn't it? Right, okay. Harvest these. Oh, I should probably use the... so you can't auto-plant fertilizer, but you can do it by hand. And it's worth doing it on the soybeans anyway, because that's about the only crop we actually need to make more of. But you can see this one that was fertilised made 4. The effect of the fertiliser depends on what it was made with. Food, decayed food, or biomass all have different different effects. There we go. Right. Pick up all of these. In fact, we've got seeds there. There we go. There we are. Trashed a couple of plants, but it was worth it. And we'll put that into there. Go into the cooker. Okay, good. Right, I think that will do for today. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Hopefully the sound is working okay. So it's not really one where we've done a massive job, lots of small improvements. The IC code is on the workshop for the melt room controls if you want to pinch that. But yeah, I think the base is looking a bit better, and we've got some light, which is a good start. Flatter floors, and we've got better ventilation, so all good. So I will hopefully see you on the next video. And as I've said on other ones, if you are enjoying this, it's really helpful if you can give some feedback, some likes and some subscribes and some comments. Helps YouTube to pick it up, helps other people to find Stationeers, and a number of people who have watched it have subsequently gone on, I think, to get the game. So if that is you, welcome to Stationeers. If it is not you and you're thinking about buying it, then just do it. And if you're a long-time player, then well, you know what I said, just buy it. Anyway, that's all for now. I will see you on the next video.